Hello YouTube, this is Todd with All Things Archery and Shooting, and today we're going to do something different. I'm going to show you how to make this Aero dipping station. Cost of this product is probably about $20, and when you consider that if you were to buy a dipping station from one of the online sources, you're probably going to pay about 80-90 bucks for this just for the frame, and then each one of those dipping tubes you're going to pay around $17 a piece for. So you're looking probably about $150 to $160. And I'm going to show you how to build one today for less than $20, okay? This is used for your traditional archers out there that need to dip their arrows and stain their arrows and also seal them. And also the smaller ones you see here, which are these right here, these smaller ones, which are right here. These here are for cresting. They're 12 inches, so you can always get the exact cresting you need done on your arrows. And you've got four different dipping tubes here. All these dipping tubes can be used for 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 3 different stains you can put in here and keep in there. One, of course, you need for your sealer. Then you have 2 for your cresting. Okay. Like I said, this is an easy project to build. Anybody can do it with basic hand tools. I built this out of some scrap lumber, but I did a price on from Home Depot, and if you were to buy all the materials to build this, it will cost you less than $20 to build this project. All right, so let's get started and see how it works out. All right, hang tough. Here we go. Hello everybody, this is Todd with All Things Archery and Shooting, and welcome to another episode on my channel. Today we're going to be doing a do-it-yourself project for arrow dipping tubes. Now, most like me, I'm a traditional archer. I shoot traditional like wood arrows, so I make my own arrows. I enjoy cresting them, staining them, sealing them, putting feathers on them, the whole 9 yards. So what I'm making today is what's called dip tubes, but you dip your arrows in so that when you can stain them and then actually seal them before you assemble them. So let me show you what we got, how we're going to do that, okay? Here we go. Alrighty. Okay, what we got here, okay, I'm on my workbench here. Sorry it's kind of messy, but we're going to start with, first thing you need is two boards. I got two 1x4s by 6 foot. These are some extra boards left over from a project I was doing, but you can use any kind of leftover lumber. But I recommend 1x4. Now these boards are going to be cut to 40 inches, okay? You're going to need 3 packs of wood screws, which are right here, number 8s, 2 inch. You need some gloves. If you want to use those, a tack cloth. You're also going to need a sanding to sand some of the holes we're going to be drilling into it. You got some blue tape to mark things. We got some PVC cement. You got some end caps for 3/4 inch PVC. You got some couplers for 3/4 inch PVC, and then you got some other caps. These are exterior caps for 3/4 PVC. And of course, on this side you have 6 36 inches cut PVC piping. I had this cut at my local do-it-yourself hardware store, and they cut them down to 3 foot for me. These come in 10-foot sheets or 10-foot sticks, and they're 3/4 inch PVC schedule 40. All right. You also need a few tools. You're going to need 1 1/4 hole saw or hole drill. You're going to need a 1-inch paddle bit. You're going to need an 1/8 inch drill bit. You're also going to need a number 8 countersink for these screws here. So you got a countersink. We need a number 8 countersink bit for these screws here. All right. Of course, you're going to need a screw gun, and you're going to need a saw to cut your wood with. And also, we're going to use this drywall pan for a drip pan. I'll show you that works too. All right. So that's everything here. So hold on 1 second. I'm going to get this all cleaned up. We'll start marking our bores down the distance we need. I'll be right back with you. Okay, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out our two ends on the sides where we're standing up. So we're going to use our PVC pipe. Remember, these are cut to 36 inches. So I'm just going to measure those to here. Okay, that's a 36 inch cut. Now what I want to do is I want to be able, when I attach this, it'll sit right on top of this board. Okay, I'll explain that as further goes on. So now we got our first cut, which is 36 inches on 2 sides. Okay, I'll go ahead and mark that real quick. Okay, that's marked. Now we're going to mark our legs and our uprights. Okay, our second piece of wood. Okay, now you figure you got 6 of these together, all right? And if you measure all 6, you can do 2 tubes, you can do 3, you can do 4. I'm going to do 6 tubes, mostly because I want different color stains for my arrows, and I need 1 for sealer and so forth and so on. So that way I don't have to keep washing tubes that I have like 4 or 5 different color stains. So this measures out to 6.5 inches, and then you're going to add these two. Now these smaller pieces we're going to use is our cresting dips. So we add those into there. So add those together, that brings us to just about 9 inches, all right? So you want to have these spaced about 1 inch apart. So if you got 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 8 of them there. So 9 and 8, so we want to do an 18-inch top shelf, okay? So simply come here, mark here. We'll just mark 18 inches. I'll mark it from this end. And I'm going to mark it from different ends because this board's got a bow in it right here, and I don't want it to bow in there. So remember, this is some old scrap wood that I had laying around, so I'm making use of what I have. But you guys are more than welcome to, you can buy a new board. I mean, probably run you about $4 a piece. This whole project, I did a quick math figure on it. Everything in this whole project to build this dip chip set is probably going to cost you less than $20. So, and if you go try to buy a new one, they're $70, $80, $90, you know, not including the tubes you got to buy, which are about $17 a piece. So sometimes it pays to do things on your own, okay? Save a lot of money. You can use the extra money to buy more arrows or shooting time or whatever you want to do with it. And plus, it's also a lot of fun, and it's something you say you've done yourself. Okay, so square up your lines, cut them straight, okay? All right, I got those two cut. All right, now I'm going to go to get this cut out, and we're going to start assembling this. I'll be right back with you. Okay, now we got our pieces cut. All right, we're going to go ahead and start putting this thing together. Make one more cut here. I got a kind of a rough edge on this one. Make one more quick cut on this. There. Alright, so we got our pieces all cut. These two pieces are 36 inches. And these two pieces are cut at 18 inches. Alright? So the first thing we need to do is we need to start marking where we're going to drill our holes and put it together. So like I said, this thing's going to need use your countersink on this and your 1/8 inch drill bit so you don't split the wood. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do what we're going to do one first. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I want to come in and make a mark probably at 1 inch and 3/4 of an inch in and 3/4 inch in here. So that'll be here and here. Okay. Now those two marks there, I'm just going to make a quick line across them just so I can stay in the same spot. Okay, like that. And then we make a little X on each side. It's just so I know where to drill my hole, my countersink hole at. And same with this one. Okay. Alright. So, we're going to drill through there, do the same other side, okay? Alright, once that's done, I'm going to set this on a scrap piece of wood. I got this old piece of flooring I'm going to use here and set this wood on so I can drill on it. That way I won't drill through my bench here. So what you want to do is these 2 points here, you got a point here, this is where you're going to put your first screw at. And they should line up with these just perfectly. Put this on, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our drill bit out. Alright, first we're going to make our first cut, which will be right this drill. We're going to drill through all the way on our first cut. Just like that. Like that. Okay. Now you use your countersink, which is right here. The countersink, these so you can fit your screws in them. So you put it back in that same hole. Countersink, it's like that. So now you got a countersink hole in each one of those, see? Each hole is countersunk now, okay? I'm going to do the same with the rest of these, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, everybody. I went ahead and pre-drilled these holes. As you can see through here, they've all been countersunk. They've been pre-drilled into the wood, and I've marked them number 2, so it matches number 2 side with the number 2's there. That way I know these two go together. Alright, so let's go start putting this thing together. Get a pack of your screws out. Okay. Remember, these are number 8s, 2-inch long screws. Okay. Alright, put them on my drill bit here. On my screw gun. Line this up. Okay. Go ahead and get it started first. Start each one. Okay. Start the other one. I find you have them poking through just a little bit, like that. Makes it easier to line up with your pre-drilled holes in your other box. It's like this here, okay? So you know you get it in there right. Okay? Alright, cool. Alright. Now I'm also going to glue these, help hold it together. Okay, I got some Gorilla Glue here. This stuff here, I love this stuff. I use it for everything from my points of my arrows to pretty much gluing anything. This is the greatest stuff around me. It's really good. It's like the duct tape of the glue world. It sticks to everything. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue right here. Okay? Now I'm going to proceed to screw it all together. Alright? Okay. Make sure you line them up right. Should go this way if I'm not mistaken. Yep, okay. Cool. Alright, so you can see that. Goes like that. Okay, that's the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and line this up. Just line up in the holes. Like that. It's your screw gun, and you want to go slow, not real fast. Yep, just like that. Okay. Alright, do the same on the other side. Board. Alright. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright. I'll show you how I set these screws in there. So I set my board up here. Okay, everybody. I went ahead and pre-drilled these holes. As you can see through here, they've all been countersunk. They've been pre-drilled into the wood, and I've marked them number 2, so it matches number 2 side with the number 2's there. That way I know these two go together. Alright, so let's go start putting this thing together. Get a pack of your screws out. Okay. Remember, these are number 8s, 2-inch long screws. Okay. Alright, put them on my drill bit here. On my screw gun. Line this up. Okay. Go ahead and get it started first. Start each one. Okay. Start the other one. I find you have them poking through just a little bit, like that. Makes it easier to line up with your pre-drilled holes in your other box. It's like this here, okay? So you know you get it in there right. Okay? Alright, cool. Alright. Now I'm also going to glue these, help hold it together. Okay, I got some Gorilla Glue here. This stuff here, I love this stuff. I use it for everything from my points of my arrows to pretty much gluing anything. This is the greatest stuff around me. It's really good. It's like the duct tape of the glue world. It sticks to everything. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue right here. Okay. Now I'm going to proceed to screw it all together. Alright. Okay. Make sure sure you line them up right. Should go this way, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, okay. Cool. Alright, so you can see that. Goes like that. Okay, that's the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and line this up. Just line up in the holes. Like that. It's your screw gun, and you want to go slow, not real fast. Yep, just like that. Okay. Alright, do the same on the other side. Board. Alright. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright. I'll show you how I set these screws in there. So I set my board up here. I'm gonna get this out of the way. There's some more room to work. Hold on, move this out of the way. Get this out of our way. Get this out of our way. Get that out of our way. Move this out of our way. Show you how we set this other side. Okay, you set this down here, and I'm just going to set it right against the wall here. And this board here, you line it up like this, where your countersunk screws are at. Line it up. Square at the bottom best you can. You want to take your drill and your 1/8 inch drill bit. The one we have here, all you're doing with 1/8 inch drill is you're going right through that same hole. You're just doing just like that, just so that you can screw it in so it don't cause an issue. Alright, you went right through that hole. There you go, that's all there is to it. Now you can run your screws through there. Same thing as before. I'm going to pre-start my screws. This makes it easier. Okay. All right, got them poking through just a little bit, you can see. Okay. Again, run some more Gorilla Glue through there. Just like this. Some beaded Gorilla Glue. All right. Put it on there and screw it in. Line up the holes. You'll feel it fall in. That's why you push them out a little further, because you can feel that seat right in that hole. Same thing with the bottom. Get it to fall where it needs to go. And that way you don't split your wood. Okay? That way you won't split your wood. Okay, I'm going to finish assembling this. I'll be right back with you. I'm now adding the feet to the bottom of this so it'll stand up. I cut 2 more boards 10 inches long, and I put them on here like this. Okay, so this is 3.5 inches wide. I got 3 1/4 inches on each side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and countersink these holes, and I'm going to screw them to the bottom of that board right there. I'm using 1 1/4 inch screws for that, wood screws. So let's go ahead and countersink those real quick, those 2 holes. Okay, so right here and right here. Okay, now the 2 holes are countersunk. We're going to go ahead and screw those in. Okay, take your wood screw, again start it out, and you want to get it right on there. So it's just poking through. Okay, so you're just poking through. Do the same thing with the other side, just so it's just poking through. Okay. Okay. Now just poking through. Now, like everything else, I'm going to put some Gorilla Glue on here. Just run some Gorilla Glue to hold it on there. So you need a lot of this stuff. This stuff's pretty strong. It holds up pretty well. So some of that on. This stuff also, by the way, this stuff here works great on your points and your knocks. You put this on, your points will never come off and your knocks will never come off. And it can be heated to be removed. But it's much stronger than say Fletch Tide or bonings or any of that Aero stuff. This is much stronger. I've never had a knock or a point come off being glued on with this, ever. Anyway, little pro tip there for you. Okay, so we're going to line these holes up like we did before. Make sure they're lined up right. This is the tricky part, because you want to make sure the holes are lined up perfect. Otherwise, you'll split your wood. Alrighty, I got it right. There we go, perfect. Now I'm there, okay? Just go ahead and drop it in. You'll feel it bite down. Okay? Same with this one. Okay? We'll do the exact same on the other side too. We'll take this one here. Alright, got this side done. I'm going to show you here how this works. Okay. Lay your board on there, find your flattest board, which will be this way with the grain. So your grain smiley face is this way, that way it won't pull up on you. Place it down, take your tape measure. You want to measure 3 1/4 inches in. I'll give you 3 1/4 on both sides like that. Okay. Same thing, you want to go ahead and pre-drill your screws. Pre-drill your holes. This is whiteboard, it will split easily if you don't pre-drill, so it's very important you pre-drill. So you just go ahead and 1, 2. And after you pre-drill, go ahead and set your countersink. Okay. Set your countersink. Come on, don't be a pain. Okay, set your countersink now. Okay, countersink set. Okay. Alright, add your Gorilla Glue. All around like this. Okay. Alright, same thing, you want to pre-drill your holes. Go ahead and start your screws. We're going to start those first. Start this one first. What I'm going to do is just stick it out, just like that, okay? And do the same on the other side. There you go, just sticking out. Now all you do now is you line those holes up just like before. Okay? Just like that. Shoot it down. Okay, done. Now your frame is done. It'll stand up there just like that and won't fall over on you, okay? Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to need to mark our spot where our tubes go in at. These tubes are going to drop in here, different distances. Okay? So remember, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have got 8 tubes, 6 that are 36 inches long, and 2 that are 12 inches long. Those are for my cresting. So I can get my cresting, okay? So, now, these here, we're going to go ahead and mark in the center. First, we're going to mark the center of the board here. So what I'm going to do with that, where's my spell, okay? You want to find your center. I'm trying to get out the camera for you. You want to find your center here, okay? This is 3 1/2 inches. Here, I'll show you this tape, see it better, it stays clear. But you can see it's 3 1/2 inches, so you want to come in 1 3/4 inches, okay? That's the center mark of your board. Okay, 1 3/4 inches. We'll do the same thing on this side. Come in 1 3/4 inches. Okay, now you're going to need a straight edge. I've got my level here for my straight edge. You want to line that straight edge up on those lines there, just like that. Okay, you watch seeing this, make sure it's coming through. Okay, so you line that straight edge up. Draw your line like that, okay? Now, at that mark there, since I have, again, I got a total of 8 tubes I'm going to put in here. So you do your math, you want to figure from inside to inside, that's 18 inches, all right? So if we put one, do a simple math, divide 8 into 18 inches, okay? So you can just get your piece of paper and figure that out, or a scrap piece of lumber like this here. Just go ahead and do 18 divided by 8. That'll go in there twice. Basic elementary math. Okay. Bring down a 0 there. Okay. That leaves 2. So you get 2.2 inches. That's 2 1/4 inches. Alright, so you set your holes. You start your first hole just to the edge of this line here. So the first hole I'm going to start with 1 inch in. And that's we're going to use our saw, our hole saw, which is right here. Again, this hole saw, I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's 1 1/4 inches, okay? So I'm going to come in to the 1 inch mark, make a line. Then I'm going to come over 1 1/4 inches, make another line. Okay? Alright? And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to skip another 1/2 inch. Okay, drill my first hole. So this is where my first hole is going to go. It's going to go right here. And you do that all the way down the whole board, okay? Alright, so let me get all that drawn out and I'll be right back with you. Okay, everybody, got these holes drilled out. This is where your sandpaper is going to come in. We got to sand all this out. You see all these holes in it, then they'd be sanded really good because there's kind of burrs on them. So I'm going to get me a piece of this sandpaper out of here. This is 220 grit. You just want to knock them sand spurs off, these right here. Just fold it up and just fold the whole thing. Just like that. And stick it in the hole. Just like that. Same thing here. Just trying to get all those splinters out so you don't get a splinter while you're working with this. After you paint this and everything, it'll be a lot better. Yeah, get it all cleaned out. Other side too. One more time across the top. Don't forget the bottom also. Clean all that stuff off the bottom. Okay, there you go. Now, that's done. Now what you take your pipes, we're going to assemble these. We're going to test fit them first. So the way these go together is like this, okay? Alright, so this here, you put it through here like this. I'll come over and do it in the middle to see better. Put that on the bottom. And you just set it right there. Now what you want to do, is you want that set, you want to take your pencil, get you down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Same thing here. You want to see where it's falling at. You want to get to your middle mark, which will be, take your middle mark, which on this case, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to show it to you. You want to go to the middle of this. It should be 1 3/4 inches. 1 3/4 inches. Same thing on this side. 1 3/4 inches. As you can see, this is like sliding. You don't want that. So what we're going to do, that's why we're going to test fit it first. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a straight edge that we have right here and run our pencil down that straight edge. Okay? Alright. See that straight edge there? Now, that's done. Come back up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to start on the inside edge and I'm going to mark every one of these holes where the exact center is on these holes, okay? If I did it right, it should be right. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is 1 inch, so your center's here. 1 inch, 4 1/4. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to mark 4 1/4 here. This is 1 inch. Okay. This one here, if you look at it, it's going to be 7 3/4, which is right here. 7 3/4. Don't write these pencils marked. Once you paint and stain, it's all going to come off. Okay. Next one is going to be 11 1/16. So we're going to 11 1/16. Okay. Next one. Right at the edge there. Next one I got 14 inches exactly. And then my last one, always measure from the same edge, okay? You want to measure from the same exact edge, this edge over here, okay? Or whatever edge, stay on the same edge though. This one's 17 inches, okay? Alright, so we're going to translate those numbers down to the bottom here. This is why I told you to keep the edge the same on this. So you put your tape in here, everything's the same, okay? Alright, so first mark, there's your center line, is 1 inch. So you come over here, you're going to hit 1 inch, okay? Next mark is 4 1/4. So we come over to 4 1/4 and make a mark right there. Next mark, 7 3/4. So you come over here, 7 3/4, you make another mark here, okay? Should be, okay? Alright, now, next mark, say 7 3/4, so we got 4 1/4, 7 3/4 will be right here, okay? That's your next mark. Next mark is 11 1/16. You come over here 11 1/16, which puts it right here. Okay, the next mark off that is 3 inches. So come off that mark 3 inches and mark it right there. Okay, next mark is also 3 inches. So you come off that mark and mark it 3 inches. Okay, got it, okay? Done. Alrighty. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our other bit, this one here. All we want to do with this is we want to drill a hole just a little bit to hold that bottom of this cap. So when it sits in that hole, it doesn't move like that, okay? So you can put the hole right there, it'll just sit there and it won't move on you, okay? So, let's do that right now, drill that right now and get right back with you. Okay, what I'm doing down here at the bottom, I'm just making these holes just a little bit in, maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch in the wood. It's just so I can hold the other one. So you just want to put your drill bit on there, on that mark you made, and go slow. Just like that, okay? Alright. Now the last one, like I said, it should be 3 inches off that one. So we're going to come over here 3 inches. And that's going to put it right to the edge there, okay? So what you want to do is line this up on the edge. Okay. That's what you want to do. Alright. Blow it all off. Okay. Now. Alright. Now we got our potch drill. Now the way that's going to work, you take your pipe, drop it in here, put the cap on it, and let it sit down. It sits down on top of that. So now it doesn't move to you, so when you're dipping. That's what them holes down there are for, okay? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and assemble this now. What you have is you're going to have your tube, which is your 3/4 inch PVC Schedule 40 tube. You have your tube cap, your tube end, and your coupler for your PVC. Real simple to assemble. You just put it together, push your coupler on, make it tight, This cap, you don't want to glue it on here. I'll show you why, okay? Because you need to put it through your holes here like this. And then you take your cap, your end cap, and you place it on the bottom. Push it up really hard, and don't worry, it will not leak once you put your stuff in there. And slide it down, and you want to line it up right with that little divot. Remember them divots we put, the holes we drill in the bottom? Let me show you. You want to line it up with these holes here. You see those holes there? That's where it keeps it from moving around. Okay? And this piece goes right in here to cap it off to keep it fresh. Okay? Pretty simple. We'll do the rest of the tubes that way. Okay? Alright. Now we also have the Cresting dip tubes, which is the same way. You just go ahead and put your piece on there. Okay? Now this one here is going to be done a little bit different. Okay? Okay, so you go ahead and just assemble all your tubes up. Just put your Cresting tube. This is your Cresting tube we use for our Cresting tube. Make it tight. You want to drop it in the end. Put your end on. And now just sit there just like that, okay? Same thing with the other one. Just take we're going to use this for doing our Cresting, painter for our Cresting. Put your end cap on. Put your tube cap on it in the bottom. Make it tight, and again, these will not leak paint. You don't want to glue them on because you're going to empty your stain out or your paint out. You just put a bucket underneath there, and you take that off and turn it and pull it off. All the stuff will flow back out, and you can pull the pipe. Otherwise, you can't pull your pipe out. See? All right, I'm going to go ahead and assemble the rest of these. We'll take a look inside. All right, here's the next one. Again, put this piece on the top. All right. Use your end cap. Drop it in there. Put the end cap on. Just do a quick twist to it. It'll hold it in place. Next one, okay? And then you got your cap that goes in here. Okay? Next one, same way. Got your coupler goes on first, just like that. And your end cap goes on just like this. You're going to push it on and twist. So you'll hear it click, you'll hear it make a noise, like a grind noise. That'll hold it tight so it won't leak. Okay, the reason it won't leak is there's no pressure on these, like a regular standard PVC pipe has pressure. So this doesn't leak. The glue is to keep the pressure on so it'll blow the couplings off. But because there's no pressure, just fluid sitting here is not going to leak on you. Alright, do the same thing. Last one. Drop it in. Put your end cap on. Put in that little spot right there. Put your last two blocks of this goes in here. And then put these two in here. Just like that. Okay, there we go. Now it's done. Looks just like this. It's done and complete now. Okay? All you got to do now is go ahead if you want to. I'll probably do a different video on this, but just so you know, we're going to use this stain on it here. This penetrating wood stain. We're going to stain the whole thing. Alright, let it sit, and then we're going to stain it one more time to get it done. And then we're ready to use this for our dipping tubes. Pretty simple. Now you're asking me what the tack cloth for and the gloves are for. Exactly, for a tack cloth to wipe down any dust or debris on the wood that we're going to have when we go to stain it. And the gloves, of course, are to keep the stain off your hands. Okay, YouTubers, we're now in the final stage of this project I'm doing to build this here Aero dipping system. Last thing I do is got to put up some way to hang our arrows so they can drip dry. So I got this piece of lumber left over here. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to attach it right to it here like this, and then we're going to set up our drip tub. Okay? So when you pull them out of the tube, you can set them and hang them there. All right? Let's go ahead and get that set up right now. As always, you want to go ahead and pre-drill your holes where it's going to mount at. Okay? So I'll take this here mark. We'll set this here. I'm going to put a little bit higher so I have a little bit of lip here. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes. All right? So I think what I'm going to do is let's do this right here. Bring over here, see what I'm doing? Okay. I'm going to take this here. All right? And I'm going to move this at my 3.5 inches, okay, which will be, and then I'm going to go right down the middle, I think. So I'll go right down the middle, so I need to set this at 1 3/4 right here, 1 3/4 right here. All right. Now 1 3/4 there. Let me get my straight edge again. Alright, here's my straight edge. We'll take my straight edge here, line it up on those marks, just like that. You see here? Line up on these marks right here. Yeah, let's do it this way. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Line up on those marks right there. Okay. I think I'm going to come up just a little bit more. I think I'm going to come up, I don't like that. I think I'm going to do something different. Instead of doing 1 3/4, I'm going to come up, let's do 2.5 inches for the mount, and then we'll do yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's mount that first. We'll get that done. Line it up. Okay. Draw a line. Okay. Do that again. Draw the wrong side of the thing. Let's do that one more time. There we go. All right, now I got my line there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, this is going to be up high, and I'll mount this down low. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw another line for my mounting bracket, which will be, let's see. So I'm going to go here, just like that. So we're going to mount it up one, okay, got it. So you want to come up here maybe to 1 inch mark. Same thing here. Okay. Let's draw our straight line there. This is the line we're going to use to mount it to that. Okay. So look over here. We're going to mount this here, or this line here, and then like this, and then we're going to hang it from this line here. So this will be our mounting line right here. So first thing I want to do is drill the holes for that. Take your drill. Let's go ahead. You want to mark them. You got these individual posts here. You don't want to split your lumber, so be sure you mark them like I did here. See these marks here? That's where we're going to put our drill at. So I'm going to line these marks up now. Okay, here we go. As you can see, I'm lining these marks I made right here. So they'll come in, they'll fall in. If you look right, they'll fall in between here instead of on the edge. So I'm going to go and line those marks up. Okay. One there. All you need is 2 screws for this. You don't need more than that. That's all. I mean, it's just to hold your Aero shafts so they drip in clean. They drip free. So all you need is just 2 marks on here. So let's do that, and we'll do the same thing here. Okay. Now I got my marks there and there, so we're going to drill our holes in. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Put it right in the middle of that. Now remember, I'm going to drill all this out, okay? Once these drill, I'm going to go ahead and stain this whole thing, okay? Alright, cool. Alright. Now if that's done, let me get some more wood screws. I don't think I'm out of wood screws, so I need to get some more. Okay. Now what you want to do, okay, if you want to line this up here, you want to line this up here, okay, what did I do with my drill bit now? I just fell. This one, okay. I can't stress enough that you have to pre-drill all your holes, especially in this white wood we're using, because if you don't, it will split every time. So line this up here, okay? Take your drill, go right through that hole there. Be sure you're worried about the center of that. Make a quick hole there. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and screw these in. These are just your basic drywall screws, 1 1/4. They work good for this kind of softwood. So what we're going to do, again, these are your basic drywall screws, this 1 1/4 drywall screws. Okay, again, this is your basic 1 1/4 drywall screw. We're going to attach this piece of lumber to it. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, again, you want to go ahead and pre-drill, get your screw started. Okay, you got the hole you got marked right there, which you can see right now. I'm going to go ahead and mark our spot. You see it right in the middle, very important, got to be in the middle. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and add this to it. Okay, I'm doing one at a time, and I got to level this thing, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So you put this on here like this. Go ahead and screw it in. There you go. Now what you want to do is you want to get your level. Any kind of level you got, doesn't matter. You want to go ahead and level this. So you want to go ahead and mark it where it's going to be level at. Right there is level. You can see the bubble right there. So that is where my next screw is going to go in at. Okay. Just screw the next one in right through the hole we pre-drilled. Just like that. Done. Switch out our bits to our Phillips head. Take one of our screws. And you want to just get that from the same spot. Just like that. Go ahead and countersink it. There you go. Done. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to set up our screws. And I'm going to set these up every couple of inches. Set our screws up along this line every few inches. So we're going to do like one here, every inch. I guess we can do every inch you want to, okay? So we'll do one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. This is where our arrows are going to hang out when they're after they've been cleaned and dipped. They'll hang here to dry. So I'm doing one every inch, okay? Just like that. Okay, now this is real simple. Just take some of these screws and we're just going to add them right to the spots that I marked on there, okay? Okay, one. Two. Three. Four. You don't want them sticking out the back side. So bring it back to not sticking out. Just bring them out to not sticking out the back side for you. So that way you won't get yourself hurt. Okay, like that. Okay. Now this will give us 15 holes. To hang our arrows on for drying. Okay, a couple more, we'll be done with that. That went too deep, so we'll take that one back out. There we go. Okay. Alright, you're almost done here. Okay. Two more and we're finished with that. And last one. Okay. It is now done. Okay, you're probably saying, Todd, how's this thing going to work now? I'm going to show you. It's pretty simple, actually. Basically, what you're going to do is you got an Aero shaft. I don't have any plain shafts right now, so let's use a regular shaft like I have here. And the way this works is simple. You go ahead, you pull your top off. Say this is the stain you're using. You take your little clip here, little one of these clips here, right here. You want to clip it on the end of your Aero. You just take it like this, and you just drop it in. Just like that. You take it out, and then you just hang it up here so it can dry. And you put your pot down there, your drainage, and as you can see, that's how it's going to work. And once it sits there, it'll sit just like that, and it'll drain to the pan, and that's how it's going to work. You can have each one of these can be a different stain. These two now, remember, are for your cresting. They're only 12 inches, so they're for 12-inch cresting, which is nice. You dip it all the way down to 12 inches, and you got the same amount every time. Or you can cut it to 10 inches or 8, or whatever you like your crest. I like my crestings to be 12 inches. So just dip it in until it hits the bottom, and I've got a perfect size every time. And then here you got your different stains. You can use these for different color stains. Okay? I mean, you got your 3 different color stains, and I got 1 sealer I can use for a sealer, which will be this last one. Okay? And then I hang the Aeros up, and it's done. Alrighty. That's pretty much it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like what you see, please click that like button for me and let me know everything's good to go. If you want to see more of these do-it-yourself things, please leave me a comment down below. Again, I built this whole thing for probably less than $20. If you were to buy this from like 3 Rivers Archery or from one of the online sites, for instance, just the stand alone runs about $89. And then each one of those tubes they sell are $17 a piece. So just doing quick math, you figure, say 90 bucks plus 15 per tube. You got 6 tubes. That's going to be $90. So you're looking at between 150 and 180 bucks. And we built the whole thing for less than $20. Okay? Just took a little bit of time. Simple to do, and it works great. All right. Again, this has been Todd, All Things Arch. Hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to click that like button. And also be sure to click that bell next to us so I can remind next time my videos get uploaded. And also, I want to thank you for your support. I'm trying to build this channel up, so I got a lot more things planned for this channel. So keep an eye on there and be sure to save it one of your favorites. Again, I appreciate all the support, guys. This is Todd from All Things Archery and Shooting. Until next time, ciao.